Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have a question from the previous class or any class for that matter? Anybody? Nope. So we'll talk about something related to finite state machines again today, but a little bit different from what we have been doing till now. Till now, we have been designing a few circuits with the help of finite state machines. Now, let us see. There it is. Let us say we are designing a finite state machine and we have come up with a state diagram. Okay, and it is possible that we have added some additional states in between, okay, which might not have been required, because we could not think about whether two states are equivalent of each other or not. Okay, there is a possibility like that. Okay, in many cases we had said that this state is the same as the other state, so some people may not be able to come up with that kind of logic in their own brains. Okay, so what we do is that we have a systematic procedure of reducing the number of states. Okay, so this procedure is called as state reduction. Okay, so let us look at an example here. We have a machine whose state diagram looks something like this. D, F, G, E, and C. Hmm. By 0, 1 by 0. Is there any Rahul in our class? I don't know whether there is any, but if there is any Rahul, is there any Rahul? Probably the most common name. No Rahuls? Okay, Richa, another common name.
Yes,
What do
sir.
you think this machine is? Is this a mealy machine or a more machine?
So it is mealy machine.
Yeah, you sound a little confused. Why?
No, sir. So mealy machine means
Okay,
states and input and output are mentioned in the same.
okay, good. कोई चीज़ मिस तो नहीं करी मैंने? Does every state have two possible inputs? B, C, एक इसका रह गया C का. Oh, we have two. Okay. E के दो हैं, D के दो हैं, F के दो हैं, G के एक दो. ठीक है. Okay. So now let us see whether we can reduce this the number of states in this machine in some manner. Okay. So let us start looking at each of these states. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay. So input. So we have two possible inputs, x equal to 0, okay, and x is equal to 1, okay. So next state, and similarly we'll have output, okay, for x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1, okay. Now let us try to write the state transition table again, okay, but we are writing it in a little bit different manner than we previously wrote, although you could write it horizontally like we normally do, but here let us say we do it this way. So if x is equal to 0, what is the next state for state A? A के लिए क्या है? State is A, okay, if x is equal to 0 and the output is 0. So again I am writing this in another manner, okay, the state diagram I am writing it as a state table. X equal to 1 goes to B and the output is 0. B goes to C and the output is 0. B goes to D and the output is 0. C goes to when the input is 0, then C goes to A and the output is 0. What happens when input is 1? Then C goes to D and the output is 0 again. What about D? D में क्या हो रहा है? 0 लगाने पे कहाँ जा रहे हैं हम? Anybody? Let me ask somebody. Uday, are you there?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, now I can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, where is D going? When I apply a 0. 0 लगाने पे कहाँ जा रहा है? D.
E, sir.
E. And what is the output corresponding to that?
0.
0. Good. What about when I apply a 1?
F.
F. What is the output?
1.
1. E में क्या हो रहा है?
0 पे sir A में
A and output is
output 0.
0.
And
1 लगाएंगे तो F
F पे sir
and output is 1.
1.
What about F? If I apply a
0
0,
पे G sir
G, output is 0. And if I apply a 1, I stay at F.
F पे sir
Output is 1.
output 1.
Okay, what about G? 0
Zero.
पे A, output 0. And 1 पे F,
1 पे F.
output is 1.
0 and
Okay. So we'll compare all these states. So I'll compare A with all the other states. Okay. I'll do a comparison like this. I'll start with A and I'll compare with every other state and see whether they are equivalent or not. Okay. They are equivalent states or not. Let us look at this. So the first thing that please understand that whenever we are designing a finite state machine, it does not matter what the states are. Okay. What finally matters is what the relation between input and output is. Do you all agree with that? What the final relation, because that is the important thing. Finite state machine is just a means of achieving that goal. What is the goal? We apply a set of inputs and we get a set of outputs. Okay, that is what we should get. Okay, that is the end goal. It does not matter how those states are assigned. It does not really matter to the final product. Okay, the final product is input and output. Okay, so if two states have different outputs, can they be equivalent to each other? If two states have different outputs, can they be equivalent to each other?
No.
No, sir.
There is no possibility. Okay, so as soon as you look at the outputs, if the outputs are different, that means those two states have to be different from each other. Okay, so if you compare A, let us start comparison of A, B and A with B, A with C, A with D and A with E and so on and so forth. Okay, we can immediately get rid of the possibility of equivalency of states between A, D, E, F and G. Why? Look at the output. Okay, the output of A is very different from the outputs of D, E, F and G. So there is no possibility of A and D, E, F, G, any of those states being compatible with each other. Okay, equivalent to each other. Okay, so now let us look at, so we can forget about So A, let me do something. What do I do? Let me write down B, C, D, E, F and G here. ठीक है, and similarly I will do something like that. So A, B, C, D, E, F and G. A, B, C, D, E and F. Okay, so I am comparing A with all these states. Okay, we already decided by looking at the outputs that A cannot be compatible with means equivalent to D, E, F and G. Okay, can A be equivalent to state B? Is it possible that A is equivalent to state B? What do you think? A B के बराबर हो सकता है? For that, if we want A to be compatible with equivalent to state B, what do we need? We need that A and C should be equivalent. Okay, and we also need that B and D should be equivalent. Okay, we need those two requirements. We need those two requirements to be met, that A and C should be equivalent. So for A and B to be equivalent, we need two conditions. Those two conditions are that A and B should be equivalent. Okay, sorry, not A and B, A and C. A and C should be equivalent. Okay, and B and D should be equivalent. Okay, these are the two conditions based on which A and B can be equivalent to each other. Okay, please understand that when I say equivalent, I mean that they should follow the same sequence of inputs. Okay, the output should follow the same sequence of inputs. So if that has to happen, the means if I say from A I'm going to state A, or I'm going from state B to state C. So if A and B have to be equivalent, then these two also have to be equivalent to each other. Otherwise, this will not hold true. Okay. So now let us look at A and C. What is the condition required for A and C to be equivalent? A and C को equivalent होने के लिए क्या condition चाहिए हमें?
B should
Zero
be
लगाने पे
should be equal to D.
A तो A के बराबर होगा ही, ठीक है ना? We know that. Okay. So the other condition that is required is that B should be equivalent to D. Okay. So these are the two conditions that are required. We already established that these are not possible because the outputs are different. Okay, the output for A is 0, 0 based on whether X is 0 or 1, and the outputs for D, E, F and G are different. Okay, they are 0, 1. Okay, so in that case, these cannot be equivalent to each other. We already know that. Now let us look at the same thing for B. B और C को equivalent हो सकते हैं क्या? Can B and C be equivalent? Depending on whether
C is
Yeah.
equivalent to A.
A is equivalent to C. Okay, if A is equivalent to C, then there is a possibility that B and C can be equivalent to each other. What about B and D?
They can't be equivalent.
They can't be equivalent because the outputs are different. Okay, so BD, BE, BF and BG cannot be equivalent to each other. What about CD? Can they be equivalent?
No, sir.
They cannot be. C किसी से भी नहीं because the outputs are different. Okay, so CD, CE, CE, CF and CG all are gone. What about D and E?
If A is equivalent to E,
If A is equivalent to E, then there is a possibility that is equal to E. Then there is a possibility that D and E might be equivalent. What about next D and F? It will depend on E and G. Is that all right? DF.
yes, sir.
Outputs are the same. So the first thing that you have to check is the outputs are the same. Outputs are the same. Then we go on to the states. Okay, so E and G. E is equivalent to G. What about D and G? E is equivalent to A. Okay, it will depend on that. Now, what else? कहाँ पे हूँ मैं? E and F. Can they be equivalent depending on A and G? If A is equivalent to G, then E and F will be equivalent to each other. What about F and G? Sorry, E and G. E and G के लिए क्या condition है? देखो E and G के लिए
required.
हाँ? A
No
is
condition
A is
required.
equivalent to A, F is equivalent to A, outputs are obviously the same. So that means these two are equivalent to each other. State E and state G are equivalent to each other. What about state F? F and G. F and
A
G
is
के लिए क्या?
equivalent to G.
A should be equivalent to G. Okay, so this is the requirement. Now let us go through this whole thing once again. Okay, once we have written down all the basic conditions, now let us try to verify whether the conditional statements are true or not. Let us start from easiest ones. Easiest ones is A is equivalent to E. Is A equivalent to E? है या नहीं है? Is A equivalent to
sir.
E? It is not. ठीक है? A is not equivalent to E. What else? Let us look at, is E equivalent to G?
Yes, sir.
E is equivalent to G. So that means this is true. Okay. What about E is equivalent to A? Is that true?
No, sir.
E is equivalent to A. That is not true. Now A is equivalent to G. A is equivalent to G. Is that true?
No, sir.
No. A is equivalent to G. Not true. A is equivalent to C. Is that true? It depends on whether B and D are equivalent. So let us look at B and D first. Is B and D equivalent to each other?
No, sir.
B and D are not equivalent to each other. B and D, again, it is required here. B and D are not equivalent to each other. What about AC now? Let us look at AC. AC depends on whether A and C are equivalent. A and C are not equivalent. So this is also not equivalent. So we found what? We found that F is equivalent to what? D. ठीक है ना? हमें यहाँ से ये मिल गया. F is equivalent to D. What else did we find? We found that E is
equivalent to G.
E is equivalent to G. ठीक है? This is very straightforward. E is equivalent to G is very straightforward. Why? Look at this. E is very easy. E is equivalent to G. It is very straightforward. How? That A is the next state for x equal to 0 is A for both. Next state for x equal to 1 is F for both. Obviously the outputs are the same. X equal to 0, outputs are 0. X equal to 1, output is 1. Okay, so that is E and G is very easy, straightforward. Now, what about D and F? In one case, when x equal to, outputs are the same obviously. In one case, the D and F. Okay, when x equal to 1, both of them go to F. Okay, and D and F, one of them D goes to E and F goes to G, which both of those states are same anyway. E and G are the same. So in that case, D and F are also the same. Okay, so if I were to reduce this, हम क्या करेंगे? I can combine these two states. I can combine E and G and I can combine D and F. Okay, so I'll call the new combined state as state D. Okay, the new combined state as state D. Okay, and for this I'll use the letter E. Okay, so my reduced state table, if I were to write down the reduced state table, what will it look like?
So can you
me
repeat
use it.
how we equated A and C?
Huh?
Like how did we equate A and C? Like decide that they are the same.
Which case? E and which one?
A and C. Like how did we compare them?
A and C, they are not equivalent, no?
So how did we compare them?
So we compared A. Okay, let us look at the comparison between A. First thing is that the next state should be the same for both the inputs. Okay, so both the inputs for x equal to 0, the next state is A for both A and C. What about the next state for x equal to 1? कौन सी है?
It's B.
For A it is B and for C it is
D.
D. ठीक है? Now what is happening when in case of what is state B? B देखो, B में output क्या है? 0 0 है,
Hmm.
ठीक है ना, और डी के केस में क्या है 0 1 है, तो बी और डी तो कभी इक्वलेंट हो ही नहीं सकते ना, क्योंकि बी
Yes,
के
sir.
केस में आउटपुट्स डिफरेंट है, ठीक है ना.
Okay, sir.
तो the depend whether A and C are equivalent to each other depends on whether B and D are equivalent to each other, and we already know that B and D are not equivalent to each other because the outputs are different, ठीक है. So the
Okay,
so,
sir.
so the way you do this check whether two states are equivalent or not, first thing you are going to check is whether the outputs are the same. If outputs are not the same, there is no possibility of anything. You don't have to check anything further. Those two states are not equivalent to each other. Once you have determined that the outputs are the same, then you look for whether next states are the same or not. Okay, so that is how we do it. So if you were to look at what these two states are equivalent to each other, so we can get rid of this whole thing. Okay, we can get rid of this. This is now gone. Okay, we'll never go to state F or we'll never go to state G. So we'll replace all the F's by F को किससे replace कर देंगे हम यहाँ पर इस टेबल में F को किससे replace करेंगे बताओ
D.
D. Okay, okay, this will become D and this will also become D. Can you see the colors? Yellow color थोड़ा बहुत दिख रहा है या नहीं दिख रहा बिल्कुल? Can you recognize the yellow color at all or no on the board?
Barely recognizable.
A बहुत slight difference.
Okay, let me use a different color. Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And G कहीं पर दिख रहा है G कहीं पर है ही नहीं एनीवे G was only present in state F ठीक है ना so G को replace करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी क्योंकि F is already gone ठीक है so this is your reduced state table ठीक है so this will be called as the reduced state table. So if I were to now draw this reduced state diagram, what will it look like? Reduced state diagram में क्या होगा? क्या होगा? बताओ भाई. F and G will be gone. ठीक है ना? And anything that was going to F will now go to D. ठीक है so from E we were going to F on 1 1 on applying input 1 so we'll go to 1 1 to D. Okay, what about D? Okay, D goes to where? F. D used to go to F. Now where will it go? वो कहाँ जाएगा?
Back
अपने
to
आप
D.
ही cell.
Okay, so D will stay on itself 1 1. Okay, and this whole thing will be gone. Okay, we'll no longer need this. Okay, now this is gone. Okay, so this becomes your reduced state table.
हमने सर सिर्फ F के इनपुट्स देखे मतलब आउटपुट्स देखने की जरूरत नहीं है
आउटपुट्स देखने की जरूरत नहीं
मतलब सर F से कहाँ जा रहे हैं वो सब हमने मतलब चेक करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी मतलब सिर्फ जहाँ F पे आ रहे थे उसके बाद D अपने आप भेज देगा
हाँ वो तो क्योंकि इक्विवेलेंट है ना दोनों स्टेट्स
Yes,
डी और
yes,
एफ इक्विवेलेंट है तो इक्विवेलेंट तभी है जब वो उनके नेक्स्ट स्टेट भी सेम होंगे वो वहां से सही जगह भेज रहा है डी उसको सही जगह पे भेज रहा है अगर डी पे पहुंच जाओ तो तुम वहीं पर पहुंचोगे जहां एफ से पहुंचते तो इसलिए इक्विवेलेंट हो गए वो दोनों आया समझ में
yes sir, yes sir.
ठीक है so wherever f was sending you the same place D is also sending you therefore those two states are equivalent to each other. Yeah, who is the next person asking the question?
So like he asked this question.
Yeah,
So when we are doing like F equals to D, we are making it D. So sir, all the inputs that are coming to F, we have to simply make it to D.
Yeah.
and rest the outputs will be managed automatically. Like F was going to G,
Yeah.
so now automatically D will go to E because G is replaced by E. So this thing will be taken care of by itself.
Yeah, otherwise they would not be equivalent. Let us say in this case, this G was going to F. So instead of G going to F, it was going to C. Let us say that. Okay, then then E and G would not have been equivalent to each other. ठीक है ना? So
Yes, sir.
those things are already, when we are doing this whole analysis, this is already inbuilt into the analysis that we'll go to the same states. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So when
And
I'm,
so
yeah,
this reduced state table that we made, this gives us the least number of states that is possible.
yeah,
Okay, sir.
if we do this correctly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Means based on this particular implementation of your machine, okay, there is a possibility that you may implement it in a different manner. Okay, in this particular implementation, this is how it is going to turn out. Okay, there is a possibility. There are infinite ways of making any machine. Okay. Anybody else has a question? Okay then. So from now, let me ask you, how do you want the evaluation to happen? Because we have to have, so as you might have heard from the EC batch, if you might have been in contact with those guys, that our end term is going to be 40 marks as we had previously declared. Okay, so the CWS is going to be 60 marks now. So let us discuss for a couple of minutes how you want those 60 marks to be evaluated. Anmol, any ideas? We have had couple of quizzes. We'll we'll have so what I am thinking. Let me tell that. So we'll have sort of a midterm, but it will be a little more. You'll have a little more freedom. We'll have two quizzes. Okay, two handwritten quizzes that you'll have to upload on Moodle. Okay, after scanning your answers, and I'll take only the best marks out of those two. Okay, 1 out of 2. So it is almost like midterm, but you have two chances. Okay, like JEE now, you have two chances to give JEE mains or advanced, whatever it is called. Okay, so what do you think, Anmol? What were you thinking? I can't hear you.
I think so.
I can only. You are saying nothing.
Yes, sir.
No ideas. Or you don't want to. Or you don't want to make enemies of your classmates.
So we can have a project like the ECE students.
Yeah, we'll have that also. So because 60 marks बहुत होते हैं यार, कैसे उसको वो करेंगे? प्रोजेक्ट की थोड़ी कर दूंगा 60 marks. So we have
एंड टर्म का वेटेज ज्यादा कर दीजिए
नहीं नहीं, एक एग्जाम पे इतना ज़्यादा नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए. I don't like that anyway. So if you, so you'll have you can choose not to give the second quiz. If your first quiz went well, then you can choose not to give the second quiz. If your first quiz went poorly, then you can choose to give this second quiz. But in either case, it does not matter. The best marks will be taken out of those two quizzes. Okay, so I'll see how I'm not announcing officially. Please understand the marks of the quiz. Okay, right now everything is in I'll finally decide at the end of the semester how the marks will be divided, but we know that end term is going to be for 40 marks, and the remaining everything, all the khichdi of the remaining part is going to be 60 marks. Final weightage will be decided later on. of individual components, but this will be at least 20 marks. Okay, between 20 and 30 marks will be your quiz, and I'll take best 1 out of 2. Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing is, you all are computer science guys, so probably you are a little more interested in programming. So what about Verilog? Have you heard of Verilog? Anybody knows Verilog programming?
Was given in the book and some instructions related to it were uploaded on Moodle.
Huh?
Yes, Verilog. There was some assignment which is like due last year. It is uploaded on Moodle.
I just uploaded it. I thought maybe somebody might see it. So you have seen that.
I've just seen it.
Okay. So I don't know Verilog. Honestly, I've just started learning it. Previously, I used to have good TAs who would take care of it, but this year that TA has gone. He's completed his BTech and he's gone. So I'll have to handle it now. So I'll try to come up with a tutorial for Verilog. Before that, why don't you guys look at the assignment 1, okay, and start working towards that. There is a problem there. The problem is that the software that we were using till last year is some 10 GB or something like that download of 10 GB. So I'm pretty sure some of you might have data restrictions on your internet plans if you are using a mobile plan or something like that. So I'm not sure how many of you might not be able to download that software. So I'm looking for alternatives, but that alternative is 300 or 400 MB, but that is not that good. So I'm just curious to know how many of you will be unable to download a 10 GB file. Is there anybody who cannot download a 10 GB file? Or you all have arranged for good internet connections? Anybody who cannot download a 10 GB file?
Yes, sir.
I know that software is horrible in that regard. I don't know. After installing it will take like 20-25 GB of your space. So be prepared for that also as well, along with the 10 GB of download file. So almost everybody can do it. So that is good. So let us see. If you are unable to download, please email me and we can figure out some alternatives for you specially. And so please look at the assignment 1 and Verilog tutorial that has been uploaded on Moodle. I'll decide the due date for assignment later on, but if you start studying it a little bit, let us tentatively keep next week as the day when I do a little bit small tutorial in the class itself. Okay, but before that, if you studied that, it will be good, and try to see whether you understand something or not. Okay, so that will be another component of the course. As far as surprise quizzes are concerned, I will have couple more surprise quizzes in the class, so be prepared for that. And usually my semester is a little bit different. We have more load in the beginning of the semester than at the end, but this year things have turned out a little bit differently. I'm sorry if some of you might have a little more pressure this year. What other courses are you taking? What other courses do you have this semester? Praful?
Sir, data structures and algorithm.
Data structures.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Discrete mathematics.
Okay.
And one course related to the semiconductors and their application.
That is electronics.
Yeah,
Introduction
yes,
to
sir.
electronics.
ECN 102.
Yeah, who is teaching that?
B Sarkar, sir. I don't
Oh.
know his full name.
Okay, that's fine.
And sir, optimization technique in mathematics.
Okay. What are you studying in optimization techniques?
So how to minimize a function under given
Are you doing
constraints.
any kind of programming in there?
No, sir.
No programming?
No, sir. Sir, only a function is given which we have to maximize or minimize, and some constraints are given, like it should be less than or equal to, and based on these constraints.
you do analytical solutions or no numerical solutions at all?
So like we have different methods
It's
for
mini
finding.
maths.
Sir,
Yeah.
it's LPP, sir.
Only maths, sir.
Only maths. Yes.
Sir, it's LPP, linear programming problems.
Okay. Okay.
And physics.
So it's all analytically you have to solve it. You're not given the
Yes, sir.
values, the actual values of x and y.
No, sir, we are given the values. We have to solve it mathematically. Like use values to get to a final solution, which is a value.
Okay, okay. So you do it by calculator instead of writing a code.
Yes, sir. Like
Okay.
we
Yes,
have to
sir.
manually write it with hand.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's a good way as well. So that you get a little more intuition. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So which course has the highest load? Praful?
Uh, Sir, in physics, some load is given like we are having a quiz,
Okay.
and in other subject we didn't have a quiz till now.
Okay. What about assignments?
Assignments are in maths and data structures and discrete mathematics in these three subjects.
Okay. So
Answer your subject.
so
Yes.
okay. So data structures, you have some programming assignments there. What are you studying there right now?
So, sir, tell us different data structures like linked list and stacks and queues and some algorithms like how to implement them.
So what is the
If we
what is the longest assignment you have had till now? How many lines of code? Approximately, if you remember.
So I think not more than 60, 70.
Okay.
maximum.
Anyway, so this course will also have a similar order of. So the only thing that you will have to learn here is a little bit of the syntax and how to deal with the idiosyncrasies of the software. Other than that, I don't think it's very difficult to do the assignments, and they're pretty straightforward in this particular course. So there are some,
So
yeah.
right now there are only 30 students in it, and there are 70 other. So maybe they won't be able to download the Verilog software of 20 GB. So we're talking about some alternate software. So can we stick to that?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let me. I did not when I started learning the software. I did not think about that problem. But yesterday I was thinking about कि यार 10 GB बच्चे download कैसे करेंगे? So yeah, maybe we'll just use the alternate software. Let me see. Okay, how far we can get along in that. Okay.
So you told that the size is around 300 to 500 MBs of that alternate.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
sir.
can't it be like a preferential thing? Like if someone wants to use Verilog or the alternate software, they can use either one of them. If same thing is.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we ये लोग आज कमेंट कर रहे हैं 60 to all. What is 60 to all? Chinayush, what do you mean 60 to all? Can you I don't understand 60. Oh, ECN 104, highest load. Okay. Anyway, that is not really unexpected. Every semester it is the same.
So the tutorials will constitute to the CWS in the final grading.
Yes, they will.
So then what would be the weightage of assignment, tutorials and quiz and then surprise quizzes?
That is a surprise. But I'll give you approximate values. Tutorial maybe 10 marks, and your surprise quizzes maybe 5 to 10 marks, and we have 20 to 30 marks for the handwritten quiz, the announced quiz that we'll have in the next couple of weeks. So first quiz we'll have maybe next weekend. Okay, is Saturday Sunday better, or normal days better? How about Sunday? Next Sunday.
So the quiz will
Sir, we
how
can give
long?
you a preferable date based
Okay.
on what
So
the
so
batchmates.
so please decide a date from next week. By next week I mean Monday 7th to 13th of June. Okay. And for the second quiz, maybe between 21st to 27th. Okay. So I'll give, or you, if you want it back to back weeks, that is also fine. Okay. So please understand that the reason that we are having two quizzes is just because I want to give you an extra chance to score well. Okay. So even if you want to have it back to back or back to back on 2 days, means on Saturday and Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, you want to do that as well, that is also fine. So you don't have to prepare twice. So please decide how you want to do it. Okay.
So the syllabus would be whatever you have taught it until now.
Until not now, until the day of the quiz.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The time means how long will be the quiz?
1 to 1.5 hours, something like that. Maximum, minimum 1 hour, maximum 1.5 hours. I'll decide the final time later on and let you know. Okay. So you tell me the date and time, the starting time. Okay. Assuming that you have to give a 1.5 hour time to me. Okay. So please decide the date for both the days. It should not be before the 7th, and the final date for both the quizzes should not be later than 28th. Okay. So between 7th and 28th, please decide 2 days. Okay. Or even the same day for twice. That is also fine with me. But I think that will not be a good idea because some people might not be able to do for whatever reason. So having a couple of days gap would be the most preferable, I think, for you guys. Okay. So beginning from 7th until 28th. Yeah. Sumit, you were saying something?
No, so I think there should be some gap.
Yeah, that's fine. You
At
can
least
you can
1
decide.
week.
You can decide. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So between 7th should be the first day of the quiz. First quiz, the first time the quiz happens, the earliest it can happen is the 7th, and the latest the second quiz can happen is the 28th. So please decide a date based on whatever is the best for you guys. Okay.
Okay, fine.
But there will be no makeup. Please understand that for whatever reason. Also, do not miss the first quiz. So some people might be waiting for the second quiz. Please do not miss the first quiz, because if there is some problem, then you can miss the second quiz or whatever for whatever reason. So in my opinion, please do not miss the first quiz. There will be no makeups for whatever reason. Okay, because I'm already giving you 2 chances. So whoever wants to do whatever they want to do, please decide accordingly so that there will be no makeup for this for whatever reason. Okay, so please plan accordingly. Okay. Anybody else has any questions? अच्छा, चिनायुष ने क्या बोला मुझे अब समझ में आया, थोड़ा ट्यूबलाइट हूँ. Chinayu is saying please give 60 marks to all. So he is really gaining friends in the class. Okay. So let us continue with a special kind of finite state machine. Which is a register. So we have talked about this previously. We have talked about a shift register previously. Okay, so a shift register looks something like this. You have, so this is a 4-bit shift register. So D, D, and D. So you have a clock, and based on the clock, at every clock edge, in this case it's a positive edge triggered flip-flop, these are positive edge triggered flip-flops. So at the positive edges of the clocks, your data will move one, it will shift one towards the right. Okay, so that is how it essentially works. So this is your input X. Okay, so this is a 4-bit shift register. Now if you wanted to add some functionality to it, okay, one functionality might be that you want to write a specific data onto this shift register. How will you do that? If you wanted to write a specific 4-bit data onto this shift register, how would you do that? तो तुम अकेले ही मेहनत नहीं कर रहे, तुम लोगों को लगता होगा कि तो यार मैं भी तो मेहनत कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पर सबसे ज़्यादा एक सेंस में हैं, इतना 1 घंटा बैठ के खड़े हो गए तो मैं पढ़ाता हूँ मैं, नहीं है ऐसा?
सर एक बार लास्ट पार्ट फिर से बता सकते हो क्या? What we have to do here?
What do we have to do here? I want to write data directly onto the 4 bits onto these onto the shift register. How would I do that? So that is called as shift register with parallel load. How would I do that? Parallelly, if I want to load the data. कैसे कर सकता हूँ? Obviously, we will have to make some changes to the circuit. The circuit will not stay the same. How would I do that? You can break any wires you want. Okay. I have 4 bits of data. Let us call that as A3, A3, A2, A1, A0. Okay, these 4 lines are available to you, and I want to write those data directly onto this. Okay, in one cycle. Now we don't have to wait. Means we don't want to wait. In one cycle, I want to do that. Please break any wires you want and accomplish this. And we have an extra input which is called as load. Okay, so what is load going to do? When load is equal to 1, then this data is written onto these flip-flops. Okay, and when load is equal to 0, when load is 0, this behaves like a normal shift register. Did everybody understand the question? अगर मेरा load 1 होगा, then it should write these 4 bits. Okay, whatever those 4 bits are. And if load is equal to 0, then it behaves like a normal shift register. Did you understand the question? Who was the I can't see issue.
Yes, sir, I understood it.
Yeah.
Sir, instead of connecting each of the output with the next flip-flop, we can directly apply the bits to the inputs of each flip-flop. And
Okay.
then for the
But we also want it to act like a shift register when load is equal to 0. How will we accomplish that? कैसे करेंगे? प्रफुल्ल? कहाँ गायब हो गए यार?
Sir, can we do it like we can connect the output of previous flip-flop
Yeah.
with load bar and an AND gate through an AND gate, and our input, that is A3, A2, A1 and A0 with load and AND gate.
Good.
And output of these 2 AND gates with OR gate.
Yeah, that's how we'll do it. Good. So I'm going to erase the description here because I need the space. So when load is equal to 0, okay, we want that when load is equal to 0, it should just behave like a normal shift register. Okay. So a normal shift register, what does it do? When load is equal to 0, so this is your load. Okay, you'll AND with your initial input was X. Okay, similarly, you'll have an AND gate here. ठीक है? I'll do something a little bit different. I'll put the load on top and X on the bottom. Okay. And we'll have another one here. So when load is equal to 0, the initial input to the shift register is X. Okay. So when load is equal to 0, then you do this. इस वाले उसमें क्या आएगा? What will I get here? मैं यहाँ पर क्या लगाऊंगा? इसका सेकेंड इनपुट क्या होगा इस AND गेट का? What will be the second? So this is load. What will be the second input of this AND gate? क्या होगा? इसका Q है ना?
Yes.
Is that all right? So when load is equal to 0, this becomes 1. Okay, this will be 1, and so 1 and anything, 1 and A is A. Okay, so A or anything, we going to go into that in a moment. Okay, so something, it will look something like this. Now when load is equal to 1, what should happen? जब load 1 है तो क्या होना चाहिए?
We have to load input into the register.
Input will be each of those individual bits. Okay, so those bits are, let us put another AND gate. Okay, so this load will go into this directly. Okay, and this is going to be A3. We'll have another AND gate with load connected here, A2, and the output goes here. Another AND gate, load connected here, A1, the output goes here. Another AND gate, load connected here, and A0, and the output goes into this. So each of these AND gates is going to be operational. Only one of those is going to be operational in one sense. Okay, when load is equal to 0, this becomes operational. When load is equal to 1, this becomes operational. Okay, and what is this effectively doing? What is going to happen when load is equal to 0? This will become X. Okay, when load is equal to 0, this will become X, whatever is your X, and this is going to become Q0, Q1. No, let us call it 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, so does everybody get it? क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर? या समझाऊं?
Sir,
Shaurya, Rana ji, hold on a minute, Praful.
Yes, sir.
Can you understand it? What is going on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Praful, go ahead.
सर यहाँ जब लोड 1 होगा तो उस इंस्टेंट पे ये आउटपुट रिफ्लेक्ट होने लगे, जरूरी थोड़ा है, वो तो नेक्स्ट साइकिल में रिफ्लेक्ट होगा.
हाँ, that is the point. That is the point. We want it to be reflected at the next cycle.
Okay.
It will not be immediately. We are not doing an asynchronous write. Okay, we are doing a synchronous write along with the clock.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We could possibly do it, but then you'll have to use the set and reset option. We cannot do it this way. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else? Again, the basic principle is that when load is 1, each of these is going to be operational, A3, A2, A1, A0, okay, and that will go to your OR gate. The other input of the OR gate is going to be what? When the load is 1. When the load is 1, then what is the other input to the OR gate going to be? क्या होगा? When load is 1, it is definitely going to be 0. Why? Because load bar is 0 whenever any input to an AND gate is 0. It does not matter what the other input is, it's going to be 0. So when load is equal to 0, this input is definitely going to be 0, the lower input of the OR gates. So the only thing that matters is the top gate, the top input. The top input is going 0 or anything, 0 or x, 0 or x is equal to x. Okay, so that is how it is working. And when load becomes 0, then this the top AND gate becomes 0. The output of that becomes 0 identically for all. So that is how it is going to work. Okay, if anybody has a question, I'll answer that. Otherwise, we are done for the day, and we'll continue tomorrow. Any questions? Anybody?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you tell us more about what you were talking about Verilog or that coding assignment?
Yeah, hold on a minute. I'll do that again. If anybody else has a question, I'll answer that first.
सर
Yeah.
सर आपने बताया ना कि अभी हम सेट रीसेट यूज करके इमीडिएटली भी राइट कर सकते हैं उससे मतलब थोड़ा मतलब रफली आइडिया देंगे कि मतलब कैसे हम ऐसे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे
सेट रीसेट के साथ
हाँ उस समय इमीडिएटली
So let us say that this is a normally high set and a normally high reset. ठीक है और मेरा इनपुट है लेट अस से आई एम राइटिंग A3 हियर ठीक है A3 को मैं यहाँ पे डायरेक्टली लिखना चाहता हूँ ठीक है इट्स नॉर्मली हाई सो व्हाट डू आई डू so this is normally connected to 1 okay set it is normally connected to A1 1 से normally connected रहता है okay so if I wanted to make set to be equal to अगर A3 1 हो गया और मुझे इसमें सेट को मेरे को 0 करना है तो कैसे करूँगा मैं बताओ
A3 अगर सर 1 है तो उसका वो ले लेंगे A3 का नॉट ऑफ एंड
ठीक है और रीसेट में हम क्या करेंगे रीसेट में नॉर्मली 1 रहता है ओके एंड वी आर गोइंग टू टेक will this work what do you think so depending on whether A3 is 0 if A3 is 0 then what is going to happen A3 0 होगा तो यहाँ पर क्या आएगा 1 1 का 1 ही रहेगा वो nothing is going to happen okay
yes
what is going to happen over here
0 हो जाएगा
0 हो जाएगा ठीक है
ओके
yeah if anybody wants to leave they can leave I'll answer the question for Verilog what who was the person asking the question
Sir, Akshat.
yeah Akshat
So,
yeah let me answer Akshat first yeah then I'll come back to you Pooja yeah
yes, sir.
yeah Akshat
Sir, I want to know, sir, what actually is Verilog and what we have to do.
अरे यार वो तो हम अगले बार डिस्कस करेंगे यार अभी तो हम कुछ और बात कर रहे थे ठीक है ऑब्वियसली वो तो मैंने डिस्कस ही नहीं किया हाँ या पूजा गो अहेड
So I was just asking if the assignment and the Verilog project are both different or the same.
No, same. I'm not going to give a big project of Verilog most likely. Okay, we'll have small 2-3 assignments. Okay.
Okay, so there was a bit of confusion that both are different. So
No,
I
no,
just
no.
wanted to confirm that.
वो भी होता था but we used to have hardware project in my course but now it is not possible for you guys to make hardware. Okay. वो अगर तुम यहाँ पर होते तो वो भी करना पड़ता तो तुम बच गए anyway Any other questions? Okay, then I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Bye.